Mí mágad a caithearla agus banna mai ceist ara le Gaillimh agus an cláiste Nua Breisoideachais atá beartaithe agus a bheith sloníthe tífíor de cláiste móna na gColáiste. Bhhatlam soléirú all stadas an Coláiste sin. I'm asking for further clarification in relation to the very welcome news that there's going to be a further education campus in Galway City at the back of Monagishan on the Tuam Road. If you give me an update on the preliminary business case. Garmagat.
Well, thanks very much, and thank Deputy Connolly for raising this matter. I'm actually due to meet on Thursday the new director in Solas of the FET College of the Future, and I may have a further update, in which case I'm very happy to revert to the Deputy post Thursday, but let me exchange what I have with you now. As you rightly say, Galway Roscommon ETB, they really did superb work, and I want to acknowledge this, in a very exciting plan for Galway City, and they want to establish a FET College adjacent to the training centre in Merview and the ATU, and within walking distance of NUI Galway. My understanding, and I am going from my memory of my visit there last winter, is that this could actually see further education capacity increase in Galway by up to 40%, and could also see a consolidation in terms of the service provision, which I understand is a little bit higgledy-piggledy at the moment in lots of different buildings across the city. So last year I was very pleased to announce that Galway Roscommon ETB's strategic proposal to develop a further education college in Galway City was successful under our FET College of the Future Major Projects Fund. The proposal is now at the next stage of the project under what we call the Public Spending Code, and as you rightly say, that requires the development of the preliminary business case by GRETB. My department's working closely with Solas in developing a number of template documents and guidance material to support ETBs in successfully completing this stage of the process. In addition, we'll be holding a number of workshops shortly with the successful ETBs on key aspects of the process, and Solas will be very shortly in contact with GRETB in relation to these important next steps. So the next step is to get the provisional business case over the line. My job and my department's job and Solas's job is to make sure they all get over the line now, and that we help them in terms of making sure they comply with the Public Spending Code. But I can tell you, and I could detect it when I was there talking to staff, talking to management in the ETB, this is a very exciting project. We're fully committed to it as a department, and I know Solas are too, and we will work with the ETB now to 2023 will be the year of getting the business case over the line and complying with the Public Spending Code. I'll meet Avril Bean on Thursday, and happy to revert to the Deputy further on that occasion.
I appreciate that, and I agree it's a very positive news story, and it's something we have campaigned for a lot of people for this college. It was the gaping gap in Galway in terms of further education. While there was an emphasis on the technological university and the university, this side was completely neglected, despite the fantastic work and indeed the waste of money on rented buildings, not to mention the effect on morale have been spread all over the city. So this is a great news story for Galway. But what is the update on the preliminary business case from a previous question? And I'll be following this up all of the time. The preliminary business case was to be, has it begun yet, or has the process not begun? More importantly, when is the completion date? And maybe clarification, exactly a year ago today, on Valentine's Day, the announcement was made in relation to the 430 million for the various adult projects. Maybe you could clarify on what money has been allocated for Galway. Thank you.
Minister?
So I think I visited Galway, to make the announcement on the 28th of November 2022. So I appreciate the point that the overall fund was rightly announced, as the Deputy says. I didn't realise it was a year ago today, but there you go. But it was the 28th of November when Galway was officially selected as one of the 10. So we've now identified these 10 projects. There will be more in our country. These are the 10 we want to proceed in phase 1. We don't give out the specific figure now, not to be difficult, but obviously it's subject to tendering and the likes. And this pace, which project moves first of the 10 and second of the 10, will depend on a number of factors, including planning and preparedness of the ETB. The factual position at the moment, Deputy, is now that the 10 have been announced, and all 10 literally brought us up to kind of Christmas, in the next literally matter of weeks, Solas will meet with each of the ETBs with the template documents and guidance material for the preliminary business case. So has it started? They're all very much aware of it, but formally the starting will be in the coming weeks, where the guidance documents and template documents will be given out. And in terms of a closing date for that, I will have to revert to the Deputy because I truthfully don't have one. But the key thing here is we want to make sure we get people over the line. So there's been a lot of work in making sure that ETBs have very clear supporting material and templates and what needs to go into that business case.
Minister.
I appreciate the clarification. The business case, the preliminary one, hasn't started yet. but the consultation is about to start in
Yes.
relation to that. Will that business case be completed this year or in the first 6 months? When will it be completed? And if I appear a bit impatient, it's because this project has been on the cards for a very, very long time. Going back a good few years ago, I had the privilege of being chair of the GTI at that stage when that building wasn't, and they've done great in it. They've absolutely done great, but it's just not suitable. It will be suitable as an additional building with the new campus. So it is exactly a year ago on this very day that the announcement was made in relation to the 430 million for 4 capital projects. So when will the preliminary case be completed, number one? When do you envisage planning going well? And when you fill the vacancies in Galway in relation to planners, because the chief planner is gone and another planner, when do you envisage it going to construction, and has the money been earmarked? Thanks.
The Minister, final reply.
So the money has been earmarked. Please do be impatient, because I'm impatient on this. These 10 projects are key to creating a unified tertiary system. It will give Galway the last piece of the jigsaw, traditional university, a TU, and a major modern further education and training college. I accept your point about the year. It has been less than 3 months since I've made the announcement that Galway has been chosen. I was in GTI on that day, quite blown away by what they do, but the poor infrastructural quality is clear to me as well. Yes, the preliminary business cases need to be completed this year. The pace at which they are completed will be a matter for the ETBs, and I say this directly to GR ETB and all other ETBs that have been selected. Once we give you the template documents, once we give you the supporting guidance, you are then empowered at a local level in the ETBs to get on with getting the best business case together as quickly as possible, because the pace at which each of the 10 projects move will depend on their ability to get their business case approved, their planning in place. So I was very clear in Galway that day that these are projects that in their totality are 4 to 5 years from announcement to completion. But that 4 to 5 years, we need to sit on it to make sure it happens within that space. So 2023 is the year of the preliminary business case, and I will try to be more specific as to what stage of that year once that documentation issues, and I've spoken to GR ETB again at that stage.